Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jess, Lovely Tarot. So good to see you guys here today. Today's my last reading for tonight. The reading is for my beautiful Scorpios. Scorpios, I love my Scorpios. They're very honest. When it comes to transformation, you guys are it. You guys can go to the darkest, deepest parts of self and reclaim those parts and walk proudly in that part of you. And you don't care what anybody else thinks, as long as you're willing to accept that about yourself. And here's how this all ties in, okay? So if you guys resonate with the video, like, share, and subscribe, okay? Ninth house. When we talk about the ninth house, we talk about higher learning, higher truth, higher spiritual pursuits, higher knowledge, higher wisdom, philosophy, faith. But if you take a look at this card, it's a halt. It's you physically saying, no, I choose not to go any further at this moment. I am okay where I'm at. Yes, I have faith. I believe in faith, and I'm grateful for faith. However, I do not want to let higher self tell me where to go. And this is shadow, by the way, telling higher self, no. I don't know if you can see, there's something down there that says goodbye. Like in the Ouija board, it says goodbye. I literally sensed your shadow telling your higher self, fuck you. I'm tired. I'm tired of being dragged around. I'm tired of wanting to be so good. I'm tired of overworking myself. I'm tired of being enslaved by you. Right? And this is your shadow, your ego, whatever it is, some part of you is saying no. I'm sick and tired of being placed in the back burner, in the back, in the back end. I'm sick and tired of never being heard. I'm sick and tired of higher self, bossing me around. And enough is enough. And so this is you and the things that you love the most. This is ego. Standing up for yourself and saying, I'm tired, I've gone your way, I've gone your route, and I'm never happy. I never get what I want, I'm never heard, and because you don't fucking hear me, I am done listening to you, higher self. I'm telling you what your ego is telling higher self right now. And if you don't feel like this now, trust me, you're going to feel like this in a couple of days. Give it a week. You have Uranus. Sorry, I'm trying to get the cards. You have Uranus. Forward thinking, progressive, right? It's two sides. It's a whole person, right? But it's the left brain, right brain. A genius, right? You're forward thinking. You're in a circle. You're in a bind, and then it's like you always find your way forward. You always find your way out. You always find the most creative version of self and think outside of the box, right? Big picture thinking. It's like you always see the opening, you always see the bigger picture, you always see long-term vision, and so that's what you always go towards, because that's what progressive people do. That's what higher self always urges us to do. But again, maybe it's gotten to the point where maybe you want to be good. You want to be so in tune or in touch or so okay with letting higher self take you along the journey. You want it so bad that you're ignoring parts of your ego that desperately need your attention now more than ever. And because when you go towards that forward progressive movement, right, where you have to sacrifice by doing the right thing 9 times out of 10, your ego is starting to take offense. It always feels like it's being left behind. It always feels like it's the ugly sister that you hide, the ugly friend that gets to hide in the background, that doesn't get any attention, right? It's always that. And it's like, I'm tired of always going. It's almost as if your ego is saying, I'm tired of being second to higher self. Because that's how it feels. It's lashing out and it's tired. It feels like it carries the burden right? It's like higher self wants you to move forward, but it's like your ego is like, I'm tired. I never have fun. I never feel like we're a dynamic duo. It always feels like I'm just trying to force myself to do things because it's the right thing to do. So it's like you sacrifice what you want to do, what you like, who you are, right? Who you are, who we are, just so that you can do the right thing. So at what point is it you self-sacrificing for the collective versus you getting what you want? Right? There's a lack of balance here. It's a misplacement of balance. Pisces, I believe. Again, I believe, yes, I believe in higher self. I believe in light. But right now, I believe that me listening to the collective, me listening to higher self does not serve me. And because it hasn't been serving me for a while, I choose to ignore you. I choose to stop. I choose to pause in this journey until I feel good and ready, right? This is ego saying until I feel good and ready to move forward, until I feel hurt. So it's almost as if like you went on strike with yourself because you knew that was the only way you're going to be able to listen to yourself. And if you find yourself that this is happening a lot consistently, it's because you're not listening to yourself. Probably ever. And so it gets to the point where it's this bad that lower self, shadow, ego has to be like, no. So when that happens, it just means that you're not, maybe you think that your needs or wants are selfish. They're too selfish, so they're not good for you. When all evidence to the contrary, you need your ego. Without it, you can't be whole. You can't just be higher self all the time. You need your shadow. It's the part of you that shines. It's the part of you that's talented, that exerts its talents into the world, right? It's those aspects of you that are so needed, but you think that if you start paying attention to that side of you, you're only going to be a bad person. Maybe when you were a kid, you were forced to sacrifice, right? Those aspects of self, of selfishness for the good of others. And it's almost as if you've been carrying that burden your whole life and you're done. You can't keep moving like that. You're not going to be happy. You're just not. All right, so you get Jupiter, right? Benefits. A lot of you, it's like this short-term pleasure, sexual pleasure, whatever it is. It's hidden. It's dark. You think it's dark. But it's selfishness. It's the things that make you happy. You hate yourself. You hate yourself or you feel guilty for wanting these selfish pleasures, but then you hate yourself when you don't go for it. Do you see what I'm saying? And then you get Black Moon Lilith, right? This raw sexual energy, this big appetite, this part of you is gnawing at you because it needs your attention. And it's like you're finally being heard. Your ego is finally being heard because it told your higher self, I am not going to move until you acknowledge me. Right? It's asking you, acknowledge me. Will you, though? You can't have two different aspects like that fighting each other. You're going to be in pain. So you're about to have a real life lesson on that, on what happens when you don't listen to yourself and you judge yourself like that and you just ignore yourself. You're about to have to learn a hard lesson on what that is, and you're going to end up doing some really harmful, self-damaging things to yourself. Self-sabotage, shame, all of these things are going to come up for you this week because you keep doing that to yourself. You keep diminishing your own wants and needs because you think that's not right. Or somebody told you that and you're about to learn a harsh lesson about you need all aspects of you. They're all you. Whether you accept it or not, they're all for you and they all serve you long term. All right, guys, that's all I have for you, my beautiful Scorpios. I love you. Bye.